All right, so you continue to travel along to the west. As you do, you see that the sky is cloudy, similar to what the picture is showing here. And as you're, kind of making your way down, you see that the coming from the north, kind of coming across the south, there's pretty large cloud banks, and they're pretty low actually. And from time to time, you see that they completely cover the bridge, and then a cloud will pass, and you can see the bridge again. You can see it from a long distance, and as you get closer and closer, you see this kind of this gigantic stone archway, and it looks like as you get almost to the base of it, it's about probably 300 to 400 feet tall at the apex, and it kind of spans the large river that's here. Um, you do see kind of at the beginning of the bridge where it starts to go up. You see there's kind of these large stone dwarves that are kind of carved in as statues, larger than life, probably about 50 to 60 feet tall on each side of the gate, the bridge itself. The bridge is quite sturdy. Definitely, you see that many caravans and wagons and whatnot have traveled across this bridge. As you can see, kind of wheel ruts in the dirt leading up into the top of this bridge here. And as you look at the bridge, it's made of kind of a smooth fused granite. It's only about 15 feet wide, but and you do notice that anybody traveling across it probably would be at the mercy of the wind. Currently, you don't see anybody actually traversing the bridge itself at this point. There is a kind of a large cloud that's sort of passing from the west side of the bridge that's passing over it, but otherwise you don't really see anything else.
Well, time to cross the Death Bridge.
As you start to kind of climb up, and you get maybe 100 feet or so, and you're just above the bank of the river itself, you see on the eastern bank of the river on the north side, there's a lot of birds that are sort of kind of flocking. Large birds are kind of circling something. They keep diving down and attempting to try to pick it up, or pick something up, it looks like. And as you look down, you see what looks like a white, opaque container of some sort, right along the edge of the water.
We want to go take a look at that, see what that is?
Oh yeah, it's being presented to us. We gotta. Alright, back down 100 feet.
Alrighty. So as you approach closer, you see that really what it is they're giant seagulls. So if you can think of seagulls, and these are much bigger, 3-4 feet wingspan, kind of diving down and kind of picking at this thing. And it appears to be almost like a cocoon container. It's 6 foot long. It's white. It's opaque. And they seem to be trying to pick at it. And you see it's kind of sitting up against the edge of the river, almost as if it was floating.
Is it an egg?
Maybe. Nothing you've ever really seen before yourself. It's hard to tell. And the birds are hitting it with their beak, but they're just not able to either break it open or to pick it up. And you see kind of as they kind of screech and the birds screech and argue, and they're able to grab it, and they're pulling it, and it looks like they're trying to pull it up on the bank. And one of the... Go ahead.
Maybe if we had a druid, they could do nature or something like that, figure out what it is. I figure a druid or a ranger know what it is.
How close are we?
Well, it depends. How close do you want to be?
We can fight off some dire seagulls.
So you
I'll do my speak with animals again, and I'll tell the seagulls to shoo, to back off, and fly away.
Yeah.
There's food on the other side of the river.
Okay. As you start to talk to them, one of the seagulls kind of says, "My egg. I'm going to eat this egg. It took me a hard time to pick up this egg. I'm eating it." And you see him kind of pecking at the shell, trying to break it. And it doesn't really seem to do anything. And he goes, whatever. And he kind of flies off.
The seagull said that it's some sort of large egg that they flew off with it, and he dropped it here.
Do giants lay eggs?
Not that I know of.
What?
That's right. Not that any of us know of. Well, what the hell lays eggs this big?
Curious what William's intelligence is. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Hey, Stig. Do you have anything with animals in your stuff? No. Okay.
So as you get probably about 50 feet away, you see that this cocoon-like white egg sort of thing does appear to have an area that's kind of been ripped open, probably from the seagulls and whatnot, and you see something that looks kind of slimy inside.
Alright, I'll touch it.
So as you kind of walk up and look, you see that the this white cocoon is kind of slimy and gooey, and it seems to have some hard consistency to it because the edge is kind of opened a little bit, and inside you see what looks like almost like an arm, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. It's kind of translucent. The skin is. You can see what looks like there's some bones in there, and there's several inches of grimy water that's kind of just above a limb that you see and the laying inside this cocoon. That's all you can see though, and you can't see through the actual whiteness of the shell itself.
Can I do a survival or a medicine or a nature or something and see if whatever's alive in there?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to, you could do you can either give me a medicine or you can give me a nature. Nature would kind of be to you've never seen skin like this before. I mean, this is really kind of bizarre, almost aberration type stuff to you. I mean, this is really way out of kind of your league there.
Okay. I don't know what it is. Maybe we should drag it up onto the land so the water runs out of it.
So is this large or huge, or what's beyond?
It's 6 foot long, probably about maybe 3.5 feet wide.
All right. Am I able to drag it?
Yeah, you can pick it up. It's actually not that heavy. I mean, there's some water in it, and you can hear it kind of slosh around inside as you try to pick it up. The grimy water kind of does pour out and sort of gets on your arms because it's pretty difficult not to pick it up and not get it on there. You see that the arm slimy like thing kind of wiggles a little bit inside there.
How big are dragon eggs?
I've never seen one.
Now, but dragon things, those things are kind of small, aren't they? In general. This egg's probably bigger than one. Maybe they have multiple. Oh well. Let's smash it open.
Okay.
Let's see. Do I have a non-cutting weapon? I have a great maul.
You have all those clubs.
Oh yeah, I got clubs. I take 2 clubs out, and I'm gonna play drums on this egg.
All right. So as you kind of hit on the egg there, the shell of it, you notice that now that there's a crack in there, it seems to break pretty easily, and it kind of breaks apart in cracks and whatnot, but it still is sort of gelatinous and kind of falls to the edges. So it's semi-solid type of thing. As it does, you see this grimy, dirty, nasty water sort of pours out of it, and you see what appears to be a young male human. In the egg itself has kind of a blondish, dirty blonde kind of hair and blue eyes. But his skin is all translucent and is slimy. It's almost grotesque. It's just nasty, and you can see all the veins and the arteries, the bones you can see, and you can even see kind of like the stomach organs. You can see those as well, kind of through it. And he's completely naked, laying in this shell, and he's just kind of laying on the dirt there, and appears to be unconscious.
What kind of pudding is that?
I think you give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Not my field.
You're the one that broke the egg.
Damn, it's true. Alright, I get my soap ready and put it on my lips.
All of a sudden he goes, and his eyes kind of flutter open. He goes, oh, where am I?
Oh, thank Tor, I'm gonna put my soap away.
He kind of turns his head back and forth, and he kind of looks around, and he looks right up to you, William, and he looks around. He looks confused. He's like, who are you? What have you done to me?
Well, you can speak common, that's good. So, who or what are you? We found you under this bridge.
I'm. What do you mean? What am I? Am I a human? Where am I?
Look at your arms, man. You're not human.
You did this to me. Who did this to me? And kind of looks around, and he's like, oh my, what are you all?
We found you in a giant egg.
Calm down. What's
We
the
just
last thing
rescued
that you
you.
remember?
Okay. Last thing, I was in Yartar. I don't understand. What's going on?
Yartar, huh?
Yartar. Yeah, that's my home. I don't. What happened to my skin? Is this?
What's your name?
I'm Artan, Lord Artan.
Lord?
Yes, Lord Artan, Rosolio.
Do you have any debts?
Debts? Of course I don't have any debts. My family's very wealthy. Why are you asking me this? Is this why you did this to me?
Just saying, if they threw you in an egg down the river, you would end up here from Yartar.
I don't know. What do you mean an egg? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I motioned for him to turn around to the giant thing we broke him out of.
He kind of sits up and looks around. He says, "Oh my God! Please tell me what's going on."
Were you eaten recently?
No, I don't remember being eaten. I'm thirsty. Does anybody have any water?
Well, we are by a river.
He kind of.
I do. Here you go.
He starts to crawl over to the river, and then as you hand him that, he takes it and he pours it on top of his head. He goes, "Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, it feels good. Thank you. Boy, I'm so thirsty."
Wait, what?
What? What? What do you mean?
I kind of lean over to William. He said he was thirsty, and he poured it on his head, and he said that quenched his thirst.
Some kind of amorphous, weird organism. Not even close to human. But he does speak common.
By the way, do you have any clothes? I'm a little modest. I am a lord.
Do we even have clothes? I'm not seeing clothes in here. Oh yeah, I got some common clothes I could give him.
Oh, I cannot wear that. No offense. I mean, I can't be seen in common clothes. Please, you must have something a little bit more elaborate I could wear, don't you?
I don't think you'll find any noble clothes on us, sir.
Oh,
Hey, we got this funny hat right here. You can put this on.
hat? Really?
Yeah, Stig's got this hat.
I don't think so. He takes the
I could make you some clothes out of leaves and tree bark.
I'll take the common clothes, I guess. Oh God, they're like, they're worse than like this stuff called polyester. This is terrible.
I'll
He
hand
kinda
him the
slides
soap.
pants on. What's that?
I hand him the soap.
He grabs onto it and immediately drops it. He goes, "Oh no, that's gross. I'm not touching that."
What?
Ouch.
It's how I stay clean.
Would you like a dead trout?
That thing's old.
No, I don't want that either.
Yeah, I hear it's all the fashion in Yartar nowadays.
You see him. He goes. He puts on the pants and he goes down and he puts his hand in the water that you gave him the soap and he just lets it soak in there for like 3-4 minutes and goes, whew, it feels better.
You seem to like water a lot.
I don't know what you mean. I'm just so thirsty.
What's the last memory you have?
Well, I remember I was in Yartar. My mom had told me I needed to go into town for something. She needed something. I can't remember. I think it was, I don't know, something with the business. And then I remember weird dreams. It was really weird dreams. Water. I remember water. Lots of water. And then like loud noises, like pounding, and I don't know. I'm not sure. He kind of sits back down and goes, God, can somebody fix this? This is disturbing. I mean, look at my skin.
Maybe you've been cursed.
Cursed? Maybe.
Hey, Stig, can you remove curses? Let's see. What's level is that? 3?
Yeah. I don't
Remove
think you
curse. Of course he has bestow curse. Such a good cleric. I know the way they're supposed to work though. He doesn't
Wait.
have it prepared.
I do remember something.
Oh yeah?
For some odd reason, I remember seeing a goose or something. Like, yeah, it's like a gold goose.
Old goose.
That wasn't a real gold goose. Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe at a party I saw gold goose. Yeah. Oh, maybe it was that party last week I went to, and maybe it was a gold. They had a gold. I don't know. There's something about a gold goose. I kind of remember. Oh, a beautiful woman. I remember now. There was this beautiful woman. Oh my God, she was black hair. She had this gorgeous purple dress. Oh, just beautiful. I do remember that.
How big was this goose?
Not big. Small. I think. Hand size.
I
Maybe?
think Hori Elkerson told us about a gold. He either gave us a golden goose token or we saw it, and it was for a casino in Yartar.
Casino in Yartar. Huh.
Oh, it's a gambling town.
I don't know anything about a casino. Well, maybe. Yeah, I think there is something there that's a casino or something. A boat, I think, or something.
So you're not a gambler.
No, I'm not. I do remember I was going out to party. I was at the house, the manor, and Mom was upset. That's right, Mom was upset. I do remember that. Mom was upset with me because I wasn't doing business trips with my siblings, Martin and Urselis. She was mad. Yeah, and I was going out, and yeah, golden goose. I don't know. I'm not sure. Man, I'm thirsty. Do you have any more water? He looks over to you, Relenia. Thirsty.
No, that's all I had.
Oh, is anybody
Near
else?
the river.
Okay, he kind of walks over and he takes the water and he kind of cups it in his hand and he pours it on his head. He's like, oh, I feel better. Whew.
Well, for now, we'll be at the Yartar eventually. You could always hang out with us till we get there.
Yeah, I could. You're right. Okay. Hey, will you take me home?
Well, eventually, you live in Yartar, right?
Yeah. Not eventually. I need to go home now. I need to be home right away.
Well, we will be going on the trail to Yartar, so it should be fine.
Can you have me home in a day? I need to be home in a day.
Look, you're the one in a terrible situation here. You're not going to find any other travelers willing to help you, especially across this giant stone bridge.
But how much is it going to cost you? Cost me. I have money. I'm willing to pay.
That's something we can decide when we get to Yartar.
I don't think you understand. I need to be home very, very soon. What can I pay you to get me home as soon as you can? Like
You're going
in
to
a
go
day.
home looking like that. They're not even going to know who you are. You don't look human. You aren't human.
I don't think we could even get to Westford in the day.
I am too human.
We're very far from Yartar. I'll even show him the map, the bridge, and the huge river.
But your map is out of scale. There's no way I've traveled this far in one night. I mean, right?
Well, you were trapped in an egg one and you didn't really sleep.
And if you came down the river,
Fine. I need you to send a pigeon. Where are your pigeons?
Ha! I can do that.
You can. Excellent. I need you to send a pigeon to Lady Desalia of Rosolio House. She needs to know I am safe. And your guards?
All right.
Where are your guards?
I'll cast the spell Animal Messenger.
Okay. A small pigeon, I guess, right? Is that how it works? I don't even know how Animal Messenger works.
Yeah, or a crow, or
All right, gotcha.
something like that.
There's a poor bird eating some food on the side when he gets brought in, drafted. And he says, carriage? You have a carriage, I assume. Is that correct? I mean, everybody has carriages, don't they?
We're more the horseback type.
Oh, well, I've never ridden horseback, at least not without a saddle. I hope you at least have a saddle.
We may have forgotten to buy saddles.
What do you want to send to Lady, is it Rosolio or
Desalia,
Mausoleo?
Dezhia. And you do write in the high writing, I assume, right? My mom does not answer to anything less.
The high, like uppercase?
Oh boy. You can write it in plain common is fine. She does read common as well. So just write, Mommy, I'm safe, and I should be home very soon. Please make sure that there's a cup of warm milk ready for me, and I really would like 3 extra cookies.
How old are you?
Yeah, what?
I'm 20. Can't you tell?
And you just stopped breastfeeding like 2 years ago?
No, it's been 4. I mean, come on. You don't think we're like animals, do you?
So I write out the note.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And just
Do
so you know,
sign it, or do you have a stamp or something like that?
and he kind of looks around and he says, I don't have my belongings. I don't even have my rings. Where are all my rings?
Well, do you want to just sign it then?
As a lord, I don't sign paperwork. I have to be honest with you, and I'm the treasurer. I only deal with the money. So just sign it Artan for me, please. I mean, that's what you folks probably would do for your lords that you see.
Okay.
I'm sure you serve under some lord.
Do actually.
See, I knew it. Most common folk do.
Are you part of the Lord's Alliance?
It depends. Are you part of the Lord's Alliance?
Yeah, we serve Lord in Waterdeep.
Ah, I serve the Lord's Alliance too.
Ah, then we're brothers. That's
We
good.
are
Cannot
brothers.
tell if he's being truthful there.
Sure, absolutely. I would consider you probably my younger brother. I mean, and brother is probably a stretch, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, Barry Melton, you feel like he's telling the truth that he's probably associated with the Lord's Alliance. You're not really sure he is a Lord's Alliance necessarily, but
Hey,
knows
he's a
something.
lord. That's good enough.
His sister's nephew's brother, who he met at Dairy Queen, works for the Lord's Alliance.
He says, I know the Lord's Alliance. I'm part of the Lord's Alliance. Everybody in Yartar is. Yartar's run by the Lord's Alliance. You should know that if you're part of the Lord's Alliance.
Do we know that?
You do. You know that the Yartar is one of the areas or the lords that falls into the Lord's Alliance, part of the conglomerate.
Ah, well, hoping him falls under Lord's Alliance duty then. As a side priority.
Do any of you guys know any of the hierarchy or whatever from Yartar? Is this Desalia family important or whatever?
So to help answer that question, no. That family name is not part of the Lord's Alliance in Yartar.
Alright, well, we still have to cross this giant stone bridge.
Hey, William, is your background? What's your background? Are you like a lord or anything like that?
Oh, I got an acolyte.
Oh, okay.
I thought somebody was noble, but maybe not.
What is Stick? He is anthropologist.
He's an anthropologist.
What?
I don't even know what that is. That's from
Xanathar's.
Annihilation.
Or maybe it's Tomb of Annihilation. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's one of
because
those.
I didn't load that book, so I can't
Yeah.
open it.
Looks for rocks and other treasures. He's an Indiana Jones guy in lizard skin. So you send off your messenger bird. He looks around and you see him trying to kind of put on the common clothes and look somewhat presentable, and kind of tucks his shirt into the trousers, and the skin is kind of slimy still and kind of wet and transparent, and it's a little bit weird. And he says, "Okay, my horse, please."
Is there anything else in that cocoon?
So as you look in there, you see most of the water has drained out. The inside of the cocoon itself is sort of this gelatinous, almost mucusy type of thing, and it kind of is all sort of slowly seeping down the edges of the walls and kind of conglomerating down at the bottom of the thing there. You don't see any obvious objects in there at all. You don't see any food. You don't see any clothing or any valuables at all. It's just a round, kind of almost like an egg, essentially.
I'm gonna take a shard of it for safekeeping.
All right, so you kind of break it off, and as you do, it breaks and kind of almost runs between your fingers, kind of like a like raw egg, and you kind of have to scoop it up and everything. But once you broke it off, but the part that's still there is perfectly fine.
Weird.
He says, are we ready?
You'll be riding on my horse.
Oh, and you'll be riding on what?
My horse.
Okay. I mean, I don't mean to be a bother, but does anybody have a large thing for me to drink out of again? I'm really thirsty.
Is the river not good enough for you?
It is, but I don't think I can take the river with me.
Well, you'll just have to wait till we get to the other side.
Okay, alrighty. As you guys have kind of been on the beach, kind of chatting with him, you do see that the clouds have sort of now kind of rolled in, and have been kind of covering above as well as the bridge as well. For the most part, about half or 3/4 of the bridge is now covered in clouds.
Is it windy?
It's not actually. There's very, very little wind, just a slight breeze as the clouds are kind of moving by, but nothing to be really memorable.
Good. So do we make it across?
I'm sorry. So you've got him up on your horse and whatnot. As you guys get up and about halfway across the bridge, you start walking through fog of the actual cloud itself, and you're not quite sure exactly how far you are, but you hear the sound of loud sort of rumbling occasionally, when the bridge tremors just a bit.
Yeah, that does sound like giant footsteps. We don't see anything, though. I guess we're above the clouds.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're in the clouds, actually. So it's you don't really see anything. It's pretty heavily obscured as you're kind of crawling across this bridge. And you hear some voices talking, almost mumbling.
Like under us?
No, on the other side of the bridge, kind of coming towards you.
Can we understand what they're saying or the language?
Melton, you do. Melton, you immediately recognize that this is Giant, and you hear words of like something like, "Didn't find it. It's going to be okay. Yeah, don't look at me that way. I know. And just kind of random words, and you kind of kind of feel the footsteps, and the cloud sort of section opens up where you can see about 120 feet in front of you, and then there's another cloud bank there. You can't see anything, but there's this occasional sort of looks like a light that's coming through the cloud, and then it'll kind of disappear, almost like a torch. And you can hear the voices a little bit more closely, and you kind of hear this loud sort of booming voice that's kind of talking. He says, I know, we were looking for it. It's okay, we'll find it on the other side of the river, I'm sure. Yes, I know, it's strong, I think it's what we need.
Is it only one voice that we hear, though?
Just one voice, and it's the same voice.
So I tell the party what I said, giants. I think it's giants coming, and yeah, they're looking for something.
Well, we're gonna have to fight them up here.
Or maybe somebody could cast Pass Without a Trace, and we just let them walk on by.
How wide is the bridge?
15
Like
feet.
15 feet.
15? Yeah, we
Oh
could.
shit! The giants for 15 feet.
Are they? Like wide?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. Well, we may have to fight. Or parlay.
Yep. Maybe so. Maybe I could disguise myself into a giant.
A really small giant.
Really
What is that?
small one.
I think that small makes you bigger by like an inch. So.
Yeah, it's like a foot. I can see 1 foot shorter or taller.
Well, I mean, like, what are giantlings? They're not born big, right? Well, whoever wants to parlay, go on ahead.
Yeah, I'll see if I can talk to him. I do speak the language.
All right.
Yeah.
So, are you going to wait till he appears? Are you going to yell through the clouds, or what you gonna do?
Well, I could go on a little bit ahead and start my parlay. It was like, who comes across the bridge?
All of a sudden, you feel the ground sort of the trembling underneath you kind of stops, and you don't really hear anything for probably about 30 seconds or so. And then you hear, "Who's there?"
Yeah, you're supposed to start that. If we're doing this, I go knock knock.
Huh?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Mountain.
I don't know, Melton.
Now you're
kinda-
supposed to say mountain who?
Huh? What kind of giant are you?
I'm the best kind of giant. We've already looked on this side of the bridge, and we haven't found it.
What do you mean you haven't found it?
We haven't found it. It's not on this side of the bridge. It's got to be on the other side of the bridge.
But
You didn't look good enough.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Stolvor. Well, the rod tells me it's this way. Matter of fact, before entering on the bridge, it said it was very close.
Nah. You can't depend on the rod. Go back the other way like I said. Go check the other side of the bridge. My rod says it's that way.
What do you mean I don't trust the rod? The rod is everything. You know that.
I've got my rod, and my rod says it's the other way.
The rods don't lie.
Well, maybe you got the rod turned the wrong way.
You feel the ground sort of poof, and then another footstep, poof, and then he kind of says, "Go ahead. Go forward. Find out what that is." The shaking kind of stops, and you don't hear anything else, and he's just sort of standing there. What you assume standing still.